talking a bit about Gathered in Darkness, because I know that's what you're working on right now. Is that still in recording stages, or is it coming together pretty soon, going to be done and everything like that?
Yeah, the Gathered in Darkness, we are still doing studio time. We're knocking this out, still doing all the vocal work, getting some of the tracks flown in from some of the players we're using for this project, which is basically a prog/doom type of thing, which is going to be completely different from everything else I've ever done, but yet that element of doom and the scary goodness of all that is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing that right now. And
cool.
We're starting to book shows, and that's about it with that, Have you seen any of the teasers that we've been doing?
Yeah, I haven't watched them. They're a lot of fun to watch. And also get to hear some of the music in there, too, which is sounding pretty nice from the little snippets that are showing up,
Yeah, just a little bit, It'll get better. We've got a big plan in place, and it's one of those things that's just going to bite you in the ass when it's all done.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, is it going to be, are you guys planning for doing a pretty big extensive amount of touring, or is it going to be mainly festivals? How's that going to be?
More than likely with GID, it'll probably be festivals. We're already talking about doing like Roadburn and some of the other things in Vakken next year when the festivals come back around, which, really ain't that much further away.
Yeah, that's true. So that's awesome. And I guess from there, I'm kind of curious about, too. I remember I think was it earlier this year, I listened to an interview where you mentioned that there's going to be another Concept of God album. So is that in the works, or is it something that it's kind of everyone in the band agreed they were going to do, and it's going to happen later? How's that looking like?
All right. Well, here's a good platform me to change all that right now. Is that yes, there was going to be another Concept of God. No, that is not happening. But
okay.
What is taking its place is now I've decided to go with the moniker of Disciple of Doom, which has been my moniker forever anyway. So we're working on some new Disciple of Doom project right now. As soon as the GID gets done, we're going back into the studio for Disciple of Doom, which is basically going to be, a Candlemass, Solitude, Concept of God, doomy, scary, blah, blah, blah type of thing, but it's going to be under the moniker of Disciple of Doom. So the project is still going on, just a new name. So we got to get the new name out there, which is Disciple of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
So yes and no. It's still happening, but no. Yes, maybe, yes. No, it is happening and will be happening. As a matter of fact, I'm doing my first show next weekend in Houston with Disciple of Doom.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah. Halloween weekend. There you go.
Yeah, that's true. It's perfect for Doom,
Exactly. So, yes, Disciple of Doom is happening, and it will be. Our cameo debut appearance will be in Houston next weekend on the 31st or the 1st. I don't know. You're talking to the wrong person when it comes to days.
All right, cool. I mean, that's definitely good to hear, too, because, people want to know. Because Concept of God got really good reception, and everyone was wondering what's going to be going on with that probably. But this sounds even better in a way, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely will be. It's going to be a step up from the Concept of God, which was kind of a more power metal type of thing, I guess. I don't know, the fucking genres in that now. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's definitely going to be cool to hear that. And I guess I got some curiosity kind of questions of some of the stuff you've done in the past, like Solitude, Aeturnus, and things like that. I'm kind of interested in how, when I'm listening to some of the earliest stuff, with Into the Depths of Sorrow, Beyond the Crimson Horizon, and then listening to like Alone and some of your stuff after that, I noticed your vocal style kind of got more and more aggressive and almost like, more powerful compared to the earlier stuff, which is a bit cleaner, a bit more classic. Was that an intentional thing you did, or did it just kind of end up that way?
No, actually it was intentional, because when I first joined Solitude back in the early 90s, excuse me, that was a burp in case you didn't notice. There you go. Yeah, I'm still just a redneck down here from Texas. But no, when I first joined Solitude, I was a guitarist. I was asked to do vocals. And I was like, well, sure, why the fuck not? I'll go ahead and do vocals. No big deal. And so, honestly, I didn't really know what I was doing. I thought, I'll sing like Klaus Meine or Bruce Dickinson or Halford or whatever and blah, blah, blah. So after the first couple of albums, I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be fucking doing this, I'm going to go ahead and do it my way, because clean, pretty, and high is all good, and that's nice, and it works very well with the first two Solitude albums. But I had to fucking make it my own. And that's where, when you get into Downfall and Adagio and Through the Darkest Hour, Through the Darkest Hour is when I decided to go, you know what, this is the way I'm going to sing. This is the way I'm going to represent myself. And that's exactly what I did with those albums, and even on Alone, because the aggressiveness, the prettiness, and all of that encapsulates all of the emotions and feelings that go through the words and the lyrics that are presented there on the album, which I did with Candlemass too, on the several of those albums that I did with them. Same thing. So yes, it was intentional.
That's cool to know. Was it a technique that you had to sort of figure out first, or did it come once you knew that you wanted to do that, you were able to figure it out pretty quickly?
Well, without sounding pious, both techniques were good and easy and done, and it was just a matter of changing the channel. I was like, you know what? I don't want to fucking watch this. Bam. There you go.
That's awesome. So when you, because you said you started out as a guitarist, have you just kind of, so you're kind of a natural in that regard? You just always were able to sing in that kind of a way? Or was it something that you just didn't think about and you just sang because you wanted to sing and then you ended up being able to sing like that? Or was there any process of developing it and or you just kind of had it like that?
Yeah, honestly, there was no process in developing. It was just a matter of going, okay, here's the fucking mic, sing, here's some lyrics, okay, let me write some, blah, 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 okay, there you go, and it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that
That's
all
awesome.
the time. It's like, do you take lessons? Did you do anything? And did you study? It's like, no, and there's a mic, and might as well use it. Just like handing me a guitar, go, okay, play it. There you go.
Yeah, that's damn impressive though, because I mean, there's a lot of people, you talk to them and they're like, man, I wish I could figure out how to sing like Robert Lowe, man. He gets that sound, and yeah, it's interesting to know that you didn't really have to put any thought into it. It was just, here I go, I'm going to sing, So that's really cool.
Well, I know, and that's why I said I don't mean to sound egotistical or anything, because I'm very far from that. I'm the most humble, down-to-earth motherfucker, redneck Texan you'll ever meet. But the only preparation I have before a show and or going into the studio is a beer and a couple cigarettes. That's it. That's how it works.
Yeah. Well, it seems to work out too, because you get all these albums, and it seems like each album that comes out, you're still doing just going all the way 100% with the vocal performances on each one. So I think that's awesome.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's definitely one of the reasons I wanted to get this going, because I wanted to kind of figure out how that all came to be. But yeah, so some of the other stuff I was interested in was because you've been in a couple different bands now, and are there any albums, like, I know you mentioned Through the Darkest Hour, is there any album where you kind of feel like this is some of my best work, this is one I'm especially proud of, or anything like that?
I would have to say that Alone is a very, very personal, tied to me project. All the lyrics and all the music and everything we did on that one was very personal. I think Adagio started that path, which all of those lyrics were very personal. So I don't sing about dragons and demons and all your fantasy bullshit. Everything that comes out of but mind you, there's not a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the whole metal dragons and demons and blah, blah, blah. It all goes hand in hand. But I just want to make it abundantly clear that the lyrics that come from those albums are straight from my heart and my soul, and actually things I've experienced and lived through. So it's almost like a, I don't know, autobiography type of thing. So it's very personal. And Alone would be my top. Adagio was when I really took over the writing and the lyrics and everything else. Downfall was an in-between. And Through the Darkest Hour was when I changed my singing style and started adding my lyrics. So it was just that process from Through the Darkest Hour, Adagio, to Alone, which was basically my lyrical baby.
Oh, that's awesome. Because I haven't been able to find too many too many details online about who wrote specifically each song and stuff like that. So that's cool to hear. And I'm also wondering, since you said, I think it was around, you said Adagio, that you started writing more of the lyrics and you became more involved that way. How was in the band the transition from Lyle Stedham writing the lyrics on the first few, and then when you decided, like, I'm going to write the lyrics now, was that something that everybody was like, yeah, this is what we want to do, or was it kind of one of those things that developed gradually?
Okay. I'll give you a long story short. Me and Lyle played in a band that I started when I was, 19, 20, called Graven Image. And we got together, and I was playing guitar and doing vocals at the time and writing lyrics. And we did that for a while. And then that's how it turned into Solitude, because he joined Solitude as a drummer, not a bass player, and then contacted me and said, hey, I'm in a new band. They're getting rid of the vocalist. You want to come do it? And I told him, dude, I play guitar. I'm not a singer. Fuck that. It's like, come on, man. It's cool. We'll do it. So I did. So anyway, long story short, that's how that started. And with the projects, the early projects, which had Christopher Gabehart actually wrote most of the lyrics for the first Into the Depths of Sorrow, because he was the vocalist with John Perez when Solitude started in, 88, something like that, 89, and then he left. So the first album was mostly his lyrics. Then Lyle wrote some, and then Beyond the Crimson Horizon came out, and me and him got together, and with that album, we collaborated on a lot of the lyrics. Basically, when I say collaboration, I mean, it's me telling Lyle, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm feeling, I want a song about this. You go back to the house and write the words. So that's how that started. But then it started getting to where it's like, you know what? I don't need somebody else write my words. I'll just go ahead and do this. And then he ended up, after Through the Darkest Hour, when we both wrote stuff together, ended up leaving. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I got this. It's all good. And that's where it came from. Does that make any sense to you at all?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's definitely a cool story to hear. Yeah.
No, so that's basically what happened. That's how it got to the point to where we would write together, but he got lyrical credit.
Yeah.
He actually scribed the words. And then I thought, fuck it, I'll do it. And so our theme changed. It went from fantasy stuff and Bible stuff and God stuff to personal stuff, because I wanted to make it more real. Anybody can write shit all day long, but I want it to be real. When you read it, this is real. This is Robert Lowe sitting over there in the corner. This is what he's doing. He ain't fucking talking about the fucking apocalypse or some demon coming up from the ground. No, this is the real bullshit.
Yeah.
Although it would take, but I was going to say, although it would take me an hour to explain all the lyrics, because half of the lyrics you read, it's double meaning.
Yeah.
So that's always fun too.
No, that's definitely a cool part about the lyrical process, and definitely something I've noticed with Solitude's lyrics and everything is it's just very kind of open-ended in a way. And I guess that's part of that personal stuff you were talking about too, is each person can kind of interpret it their own way, and and then it can be personal for other people too. And I think that's cool about a lot of the lyrics that you've written.
See, and I want to thank you for that, because that was exactly my point. I wanted to get my feelings across without sounding like some boo-hoo crybaby bitch like these other bands that are all fucking crybabies and the emo and all that crap. Fuck on that.
Mm-hmm.
But take the lyrics and you can make it your own, because then it becomes more personal to you. Because if you listen to it, you're going to get what you want from it. You're going to take what you need from the lyrics and the song and everything else, and that makes it personal to you, yourself, or whatever, regardless of what I was saying. But it still has meaning, and it means something to you on an individual level, and that's what I wanted to do.
I think you achieved it too. So, yeah, thank you for writing those tunes because I think they've some of them have been around. When I would need it, and I'd be like, listen to this. I'm gonna listen to something from Alone, because those are some pretty powerful songs, I'd say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And going from that, when you're writing lyrics, do you have the vocal melody in mind beforehand, or do you get the vocal melody from the lyrics?
Basically, my writing process consists of sitting somewhere with a beer and a smoke, and I go through my emotions, write it all down, and then the music comes along, and then I choose which lyrics go to which piece of music that it fits, and then I make it work. So it's a very convoluted process. It's not atypical.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just...
And is the song already written beforehand, or do you sometimes come up with the ideas before a song exists and then you add it to a song later?
Yes. More than likely, I've already got a notebook of lyrics before any music is ever written. And then the music is written, and then I decide which piece of lyrical content will fit with that piece of music.
Yeah, that sounds like a good way of going about it. And as myself, I've worked on writing lyrics too, and I kind of have thought, I wonder if the people I'm listening to, the bands I'm listening to, do they do it from the music first or the lyrics first? And it's kind of interesting that difference that you find. Some people, when they write with the idea of the lyrics first, the lyrics become a bit stronger than if they wrote with the music first. Maybe it's kind of interesting that way.
Well, and that's exactly what happens. The lyrics are the base. You can take everything else away, but they still stand alone. Now it's just got the pretty bits and the sparkly things around it.
Yeah, icing on the cake, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I was also wondering about a little bit about some of the Candlemass stuff, because I think you had said that when you're in that band you're more singing, functioning as like the singer, because obviously Leaf had his the writing stuff that he does and everything. So was the process in recording any different than your other bands for that one, or was it kind of basically the same, still going, just record the vocals, or was it like maybe a bit more chill just because you didn't have to work on the lyrics at all?
Well, yeah, okay, it was a bit more chill because Leif always, forever and Adon has always done all the music and everything else, and those guys do their thing. And so, actually, yeah, it was quite nice to not have to fucking stress about anything and just get over there and go, here are the words, here's the song, sing. Okay, I can do that. No worries. And so that was basically it. But I still put my own spin on it, even though, we had our confrontations about how things should be done and not be done. His biggest problem was that he was worried that, with Solitude, I do the big vocal layers and a lot of counterpunctual stuff and so on and so forth. Leif still just wanted it straightforward and clean. So, that because he was always afraid that it would sound like Solitude. It's like, well, it's not going to fucking sound like Solitude. This is Candlemass, man. I'm going to still do the same goddamn thing. But yeah. So yeah, it was a nice gig. It was very pleasant. It was enjoyable, and as a matter of fact, I've got the most albums with Candlemass that anybody has ever had. So see, I got that too. There you go.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, you got to sing on King of the Grey Islands, which is a big favorite of mine from Candlemass. So that's definitely that's cool.
I love that one. But I like Death Magic Doom too. And Psalms for the Dead was good, even though I didn't get to fucking debut it.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, Death Magic Doom is great too. I actually think there's some songs on there that are really underrated, like If I Ever Die, that one's great, and The Bleeding Baroness,
The Bleeding Baroness, yeah. No, If I Ever Die, I've got a story about that one. That one's funny. We wrote that in a place called Olsen's in Stockholm. And me and him were sitting at the bar, and he was talking to me, and he said something. He was like, "I got some ideas for the new Candlemass." I was like, "Well, yeah, spill." blah, blah, blah. And then he says something. Somebody talked to him. He goes, dude, if I ever die, I want to. And I go, really? If? That's a contradiction. There's no way if you can ever die. I was like, dude, okay, we got to write a fucking song about this. If I ever die. So that's how that one came about. Next day, boom, bam, there it is, done. Which that was kind of a power metal thing, but that's how it came about. Just sitting at the bar going, dude, did you just realize you just fucking said, if I ever die? There's no if involved in if you ever die, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's a cool story, and it is, yeah, it's one of the, probably almost like the fastest Candlemass song. It's definitely up there.
Yeah, it is, right? I mean, that's total power metal with a bit of doom. It's not like, you know, I don't know, Anthrax or whatever, but it's got that power metal to it. But that's the thing I like about Candlemass and Solitude, which has always attracted me to the kind of music, because it has the power. But then when you listen to Candlemass, the entire category, or even Solitude's entire discography, you know, there's a journey. It goes up and down, back and forth. It's not like one of those albums where you put it on and it plateaus and it just does the same goddamn thing for 90 fucking minutes.
Yeah, there's too many albums that do that, really, when you get down to it.
Exactly. That's why when we did Alone, we still did it on 2-inch Apex tape, man. We didn't even do digital. It was done on fucking 2-inch tape.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it blew our entire fucking budget because nobody makes that shit anymore. But we were goddamn, we were going to do it digital.
Yeah, because when you do it digital too, especially with a lot of the way production's done these days, it all becomes so compressed and brick-walled, big, loud mixing all the way, you know. And whereas, you know, the stuff that you've done generally doesn't have that, and Alone definitely doesn't have that, and that's what I think makes it different, you know, than all these other albums coming out in the 2000s, 2010s, and whatever.
I know, exactly, and that's right. That's why I demanded we do 2-inch tape. I don't want, because when King of the Grounds came out, you know, I mean, that was ultra compressed. It was like, God damn it, really? People, what are you fucking doing? But, you know,
yeah.
Hey, what can I say? I mean, it wasn't my baby. I'm just a vocalist.
Yeah. Now, Gathered in Darkness, for that one, is that going to be mastered in kind of a similar way?
Yeah, it will. We've already discussed that. Yeah, it's going to be very fluid and very organic, shall I say?
Yeah, organic is really the way to go, you know. So yeah, that's great to hear, you know, because obviously, as we mentioned before, there hasn't been any like finished mastered snippets of the album, so people are still just, you know, hearing just a little bit, and they're kind of, you know, getting a bit excited about it, hoping that there's going to be, you know, some more release at some point. But it's cool to know that there's that plan in store for the mixing and mastering process too.
Well, and that's the plan. When it comes out, people are going to hate it or love it, or you're going to just go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, I fucking love this project. The guy I'm working with, Mike Millsap, great bassist, great musician, good writer. Actually, I write a lot of stuff on this too, guitar-wise. Thank you very much. And so it's getting back. It's like past, future, perfect. But it's. I'm getting back to writing guitar, doing the lyrics. He's doing his thing. We're collaborating on a lot of stuff. So it's going to be a throwback, but it's also going to be not so much of a throwback to where it's ahead of the shit that's there right now. It's even with the proggy stuff that's out there right now. I don't know if you're a prog head, but I'm not. But this stuff is really cool. And the mix with the doom, it takes you on a journey. And that's the way I think an album or a CD or whatever, an 8-track should be. Is it should take you on a journey. When you put the bitch on, you should be able to listen to it. You don't want to fucking go skip, skip, skip. This is a cool song. Skip, skip, skip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be annoying.
Yeah, it is. You don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I saw, you know, because I was looking at the credits on Downfall, it mentions that you played piano on Phantoms and Chapel of Burning. So do you still play piano in your free time? Have you thought about doing that on an album again, or how's that going?
No, I actually do. As a matter of fact, on Adagio, I play the keyboards when we do our Heaven and Hell cover tune.
Oh, awesome.
Any keyboards you hear on any fucking SA album, it's me. So yeah, I still play. And I plan on incorporating the keyboards as an atmospheric sound, not so much, doing some J.S. Bach or anything like that, which I could if I wanted to, but atmospheric type of stuff. So yeah, still doing that. I'm still I still kind of write that way too. Sometimes I'll go out there and sit on the keyboard and or pick up the guitar and whatever, and just put some notes in my head and go, okay, this is cool, that'll work. Or that's crap, what's wrong with you, Rob? That's stupid, don't do that.
Yeah, it's always interesting getting the reception from other band members and stuff like that. The kind of responses you can get. But yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does have also. When I'm checking the other credits, it also mentions you doing keyboards on even going back to Beyond the Crimson Horizon and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Transcending Sentinels. All the keyboards there was me.
That's cool to hear. At first, I didn't know. I heard those parts and thought maybe it was a guest or session musician, but little did I know, the singer's doing it.
Mhm.
So that's also cool to know. But yeah, it's see what I'm looking at my list of questions here, or my general.
Hey, no worries, mate.
Oh yeah, no, I'm putting together my concepts mentally. But yeah, it's definitely been really cool getting to chat about all this stuff. Also, did you with some of the the vocal technique stuff that you've done on Candlemass and on throughout your career, is there any tune where you felt like you were singing it and then you went back and like, oh, I actually was experiencing some pain trying to sing that or something, and then you thought, and then you had to like go do another take or take a break? Or have you never really had vocal pain while you're doing that kind of stuff?
Vocal pain. Okay, let's see. Well, I guess I don't know if there's vocal pain, but I mean, yeah, you do take breaks. I mean, when you're in the studio for 12 hours a fucking day, you do get tired. But no, I would have to honestly say no, not at all. I mean, most of the songs I've recorded, if you go down to the wire, they were done within 1 or 2 takes. And then I would just go back and add stuff.
So you never had to like punch in or anything during like the middle, like one line, you never had to take it line by line. You just always like basically through the whole song each take, or how did that work?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the whole organic thing. I never wanted to do line by line. Anybody can fucking get in there and punch a line and go take a break and have a smoke, come back and do another line. Anybody can fucking do that. It's not the way I play the game, man. Because if you're going to fucking go see a band live, yes, it's nice to see them live, but then yes, as the audience, you want to hear what you've been listening to on the CD for the last 2 weeks, You understand what I'm
exactly.
saying? You want to get that, right? I mean, it's like Maiden. Maiden is fucking great live. Dickinson sounds fucking amazing. It's like watching the Scorpions. Same goddamn thing. You're getting what you're getting without a bunch of the bullshit. Because you see a lot of the bands out there that do line by line, and then you go watch them, it's like, that sounds like shit. That guy can't sing. He can't play guitar. Yeah, no, don't want that. What you get is what you get. And if you don't like what we did in the studio, then you're not going to like us live. I don't know, it's that simple.
Yeah. But that's cool to hear too, because you hear about all the stories of the long recording processes and having to take as we were talking about before, the less organic approach that you got now, and the fact that you don't do that, I think, is definitely a bonus to the quality of the vocal performances and everything like that.
Well, and what you get live is what you get on the CD. It's the same damn thing, and that's what I mean. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, that's what you fucking get. I mean, if I go out to buy a car, I buy a car for what it's supposed to be, not because what the commercial said it was. If you get a fucking CD, you go see it live, you want to hear the same shit that you're getting on the CD. That's the way it should be, because now you're happy. Because I'm the same way. I'm still a fanboy. I still go to shows. I'm still like, holy shit. You know, even though I've hung out with Slayer and Kiss and people like that, it's like, this is fucking cool. I'm still a fucking fanboy. God damn. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you still like keep up with those bands too? Do you like buy their new albums and stuff? You know, Maiden and Scorpions and guys like that.
Yeah, I do when it suits the purpose. But I pretty much live in a hole right now. But when it comes to, you know, good quality stuff, you know, I'll get it. I mean, even though they're only getting 0.9% of a penny of a thing for this, I still support people. And people need to do that. People need to realize that us as musicians and artists, that's how we get paid. I mean, with the downloads and the freebies and the YouTube and everything else, nobody's getting nothing. But I still have that old punk attitude where, you know, you go to the show, you support the people, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, definitely. So is there anything like currently that you're listening to? Like, what's generally speaking is what you're into at the moment? Is music maybe not something you do listen to a whole bunch on your own because it's basically your career and everything?
Yeah, good question. No, I would have to say no. I don't spend a lot of time listening to music right now anymore. I got jaded a while back in the early 90s, and kind of quit. I stick with my standbys, and, you know, every once in a while I'll throw in some weird shit, stuff that was even before my time, and I don't spend a lot of time listening to music anymore. Especially now that I'm involved with several projects, because I've got Together in Darkness, I'm doing Well Souls, I'm doing The Disciple of Doom, and I've got another super secret project that's fixing to come out too, which I haven't said anything about, and you're the first to know about that. So yeah, no, I stay away from listening to stuff because I don't want to be tainted. I want it to be strictly from my heart and soul. I don't want to be influenced by anything, because then that makes it my own completely. Not like, well, I was listening to Black Sabbath last night and I came up with this riff. Well, that sounds like the first song off the first album. Well, yeah, because I was listening to it. No, I don't want to do that. Not going to happen.
Yeah,
so I actually listen to a lot of stuff that is not even within my genre, or nor will it ever be within that genre.
That's cool.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of country. I listen to Middle Eastern music. I listen to anything, man, except for rap and pop. That's right out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put all them on a bus and drop it off a cliff. I don't care. But other than that,
yeah, that's cool. I think it's interesting. I was talking. One of the previous interviews I did, Urban Breed was kind of saying a similar thing. You're working so much on the music as a career that when you come back, if you're going to listen to music, you don't want to just listen to the same kind of stuff you're already doing. And I think that's interesting, to hear about as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching Everybody Loves Raymond and you're the guy and the star, you don't want to go home after you're done doing that and watch the same damn goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Like, really? Yeah, no. Give me something different. I want some curry tonight, not pizza.
Yeah. So I guess a few other kind of some Solitude questions and some things about that. Like, I was wondering, since Into the Depths of Sorrow was your first recording, and was that the first time in a professional studio that you had to record something?
Yeah, actually it was. It was, yeah.
So was it? Were you at all kind of like at first? Did you do some stuff and you're like, oh, you're maybe a little nerve wracked because you're like, okay, I'm gonna have to record my first album here, or did you just not think about it? You just went in, sang through the songs, and that was it?
No, honestly, yeah. We had like a week to do that entire album. So.
Oh, a week! Wow.
Yeah, a week. So it was sink or swim. So you grab yourself by the cojones and go, let's fucking do this. Yeah. And that one was done basically live, pretty much. And when I say live, they were playing guitar, he was playing drums, I was isolated in a booth on the other side of the fucking studio doing the whole fucking thing.
Oh, awesome. That's like, yeah, the live feel. You can hear it on the album too.
Yeah, and that's what it was. So it's like, let's do this. No worries. I'm not the easiest going motherfucker on the planet. Whatever. You want to do this? Let's do it. I got you. And it goes back to my punk roots, you know, growing up on punk metal, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. Do it. If it don't work, fuck it. They like it? Who cares? That's my attitude. So we do it. And that's how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you want to do. I mean, that's what music's all about, yeah. And also, I was, you know, listening to that first album, Mirror of Sorrow and Transcending Sentinels and stuff, there's almost a bit of a, like there's a poetic kind of vibe to it, not just with the lyrics, but with the music too, you know, it's the way it's written, the way it's sung and everything. Were you guys, at that time, were you into, like, maybe, were any of the guys in the band into, like, some classical kind of music, or were they into, was poetry a big thing? Because it really has that sort of flavor to it, even maybe more so than the later ones, you know, just the first couple albums, in a way?
Well, I'd have to say the thing is, though, with, like, me, John Perez, and Lyle Stedham, we're all into, I'm a big classical fan. Basically the Baroque era, the 1600s, you know, Handel, Bach, you know, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And so we all grew up listening to that. You know, I started playing piano at 5 years old. And so I've always had that with me. Perez always had his big musical collaboration that he did. And Lyle was the same way. So the three of us getting together with this, it's like you've got so much to pull from, and not just, you know, I play guitar, look at me, I can do 3 chords, dink-a-dink-a-dink. Now, fuck that. No, there's a lot going on there, and I think that's what happened with a lot of those songs, which, by the way, were not intentional. It's something that just, shall I say it again, organically came about.
Yeah. That's you know, kind of, I guess, is sort of the theme of this interview. But yeah, that's great to hear, because again, like, you know, those early albums, they really served as that sort of that platform for that epic doom style, and people are always talking about, you know, as compared to just normal doom or the, you know, any other kind, really, that big grandiose aspect to it. I think Solitude was one of the first bands to really do that in that way.
Well, you know what? I think you're right. And I'm not saying that because I'm in Solitude. It's just something that we did. And doom as a genre, I don't know if I'm a giant fan of what doom is now. The drone doom, the funeral doom, all that. Anybody can play one note for 3 minutes. You've got you've got to give somebody something to hold on to, and it goes right back to what we were talking about before, to where you can take a piece of that music, whatever it may be, whether it's me or somebody else or another band, to where you can grab onto that and make it your own. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, people have told me, man, when I get depressed, I put on Solitude. Even though it's depressing, it makes me feel better. There's just something about doing something good, as opposed. I could go out there and play a fucking guitar for 2 hours and just hit 3 or 4 notes and go. Anybody can do that. You got to give something to the people, and that's what it is. It's all about giving people something. And if we can do it, we can do it. If we can't, we can't. So what?
Yeah, I think with Solitude and also with Candlemass and those bands, there's, as you said, there's really a lot of structures to the songs, and it isn't just what is of the more. It's not droning, or it's not the, you know, the really slow stuff. It's not about being slow. It's just the slow part is part of the music, as opposed to just kind of being maybe the gimmick, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I still listen to stuff like Celtic Frost and Triptychon and stuff like that. I like that. It suits its purpose at a time, but I don't
Yeah, I
want
love
to
that
listen to
stuff.
yeah, but I don't want to listen to it 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
I want something that's going to give me a journey. You know, you get an album, and I know that sounds gay as all get out, but there's a journey. You listen from here to here to here to here to here, and each song, like with Solitude, each song within itself is a piece because you can pull that out, but yet that piece has multiple places as opposed to 3 riffs. Here we go. Oh Lord, 10 minutes. Yes, I got it. Move on. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with Gathered in Darkness, since that's a concept album, I guess that's probably going to be showing up even more so since it's got a plot going through it.
Oh, that motherfucker's all over the place. You people are gonna have fun with that. Y'all are gonna have fun with that. I can't wait for the fucking reviews for that one, because it's huge. It really is. Anyway, I'm gonna stay silent for the. I could say some more, but it's a big piece. It's a big piece, and it's got to be listened to from front to back because it does make a story. And I mean, there are a lot of concept albums out there, but this one is just a little left of center.
That's definitely exciting, you know. And I know you had also it was either you or Dr. Froth who had mentioned in an interview about there's going to be a couple. I love that name, you know. I know you guys mentioned that there's going to be some guest vocalists as well. I think you had mentioned a couple names as well, and I'm assuming that since you guys are still recording, obviously they haven't come into the process yet. But so it is going to be kind of a character piece. There's going to be multiple characters in the story who are showing up in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no secret. I am the main character, but yes, there will be a few other vocalists that make an appearance, which just add to the story, because the whole story is all about, well, wait, shall I say, the story. Yes. So there are, I wouldn't say multiple voices, but theoretically it's voiced through the story with these other people that we are going to bring into the process.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I always like the, you know, rock opera kind of thing. So that's cool to have a little flavor of that every now and then in you know, non-rock opera bands, of course, you know. So as far as that sort of stuff is concerned, have you been? Are there going to be any big vocal surprises of sorts on it? Like, are you, you know, is it going to be the general classic Robert Lowe, or is it going to be closer to the most recent stuff, or just kind of a mix?
Yes, it will be the, as you put it, the general Robert Lowe style. But again, you can put it up against Solitude, Candlemass, and Concept of God. But yes, the voice is still there, which, you know, it's like listening to Yngwie. You expect to hear Yngwie play a certain way, but it's still going to be different. So it's just same but not.
Awesome.
That's the way I attack every project. Same but not.
That's a good motto, actually, too. So I guess now my main final question is about maintaining your voice on tour, just even beyond maintaining the voice, just kind of the touring experience as a musician. Is it do you enjoy the touring, or do you just enjoy the performing? How has that kind of developed over the years?
Oh, I love the whole fucking thing. Every bit of it, every aspect of it is amazing. Because I like to live my life by the seat of the pants. And I swear to fucking God, when you spend 10 years touring, you live by the seat of your fucking pants. And
yeah.
Hotel after cab, after my ride. Where the fuck am I? Where am I? What time is the plane flight tomorrow? Here's your room. Let's go sing. Let's do a show. This is great. Bam. You got free breakfast tomorrow. Yay, I get to eat. You know, that kind of stuff. It's fucking brilliant. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other fucking way. I've done my time as a regular suit wearing guy and working in an office. Ain't no fucking way I'm ever doing that again. Huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, definitely sounds a lot more exciting to be out there performing and doing the music stuff than
Well,
anything
and
like that.
the thing is, though, is that the performing and the music stuff is good. That's a solid. But it's the in-between time that people don't get to where it's not party. It's not rock star. It's not everything's beautiful and roses and stuff growing underneath your feet. It's an ass beating. Let me just put it that way. It's an ass beating. And I have had friends and girlfriends and this and that I've taken with me, and they're like, I'm never fucking doing that again. I don't even know how you fucking do that. I don't know how you've lived your life that way. Yeah, it's an ass beating, but I like the ass beating because every day becomes a journey, and every day becomes more real than opposed to getting up at 9 o'clock. I'm coming home at 5 o'clock. I'm going to the store on Saturday. I'm getting groceries. I'm going to cook dinner at 6:30. It's not like that.
It doesn't have the monotony of that.
Yeah, it's a bitch, and it's a good bitch.
That's pretty awesome. So yeah, I think that's the main stuff I wanted to cover. I wanted to talk about some of that stuff I'm always wanting to kind of know about, being a fan of your work for a number of years, 4 years, whatever now. So yeah, that's been cool, and I appreciate you agreeing to do this.
Hey, no worries, brother.